Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. Today I'm gonna fry chicken. Who doesn't love fried chicken, right? So I've got a whole chicken, fried chicken cut up. Now I bought one that was already cut up, but you can cut up your own. It's very simple. I was just at the store and they had one cut up, so that's what I got. But before I fry it, I like to soak it in some milk. If I have buttermilk, that's what I'll use. It seems to tenderize it, but I'm gonna soak it in some milk for just a little bit. You don't have to let it soak long. Half hour would be good. But I'm gonna add some hot sauce. You can use, this is Crystal. You can use Crystal, you can Louisiana, Texas Peak, whatever you prefer. And no, it's not gonna make the chicken hot, but it's going to give it a good flavor. So be generous with it. Like I said, it's not going to be hot. It's just going to have a good taste. Okay. So then let's stir it up. I've got, so we can get all that hot sauce down in there good, and get all that chicken coated and that milk and sauce. Then we're gonna mix up our breading for it. Now, so it looks like change the color of the milk, but that's okay. I'm gonna cover it with some plastic wrap, and then I'm gonna set it aside and just let it, at room temperature, I'm just gonna let it sit for a little bit. I don't want it straight out of the refrigerator cold, because if I do, it's gonna cool down my oil when I go to fry it. And once I get my oil to where I want it cooled down. So that's why I'm gonna do it like this. Don't let it sit out so long that it's gonna spoil the chicken, but half an hour to an hour, like this, it's not going to hurt it at all. So I'm going to set it aside. Now, a little tip for you. When I'm messing with poultry or anything, I use a plastic board. I do not put raw meat of any kind, especially poultry, on my wooden boards. So let's get, I need some flour. I use White Lily self-rising flour. I just love it. It's a white winter wheat. It's fluffier, it's softer, and I think it does an exceptional job in baking, frying, you know, whatever I use flour for, that's what I want, is White Lily. So I'm gonna I use the same thing in cornmeal. So I'm going to put a good generous amount of flour in my bowl. Now, I'm going to season this flour. Now, I'll come back and season the chicken some as well. But in this flour, I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of kosher salt, a tablespoon of black pepper. Salt and pepper, you got that, you've got everything in seasoning. I'm gonna put a teaspoon of garlic powder. Maybe let's do 2 teaspoons. I like the garlic in there. I'm gonna do some amount of onion powder. I'm going to put paprika in it. I'm gonna put, let's look at a teaspoon, heaping teaspoon. How about that? Now, I'm gonna use some red pepper, cayenne pepper, ground cayenne pepper. I don't like it hot, and that's what I'm telling you, the hot sauce I put in the milk mixture is not hot. I don't do hot spices very well, so I'm gonna put just a little bit of cayenne pepper. If you want more seasoning, please, by all means, put more more pepper. And I'm going to use poultry seasoning. What goes better with chicken Then poultry seasoning. You use it in your dressing, right? Or other things that has to do with chicken, so it's poultry. So I'm gonna put, let's see, let's do 2 teaspoons of that. Okay. Now let's combine all of that. Can you see all those goodies in that flour? Looky there. And I get it mixed up. And after this chicken sits for a little bit in that milk, then I'm gonna come back and braid it in this flour. And then we're gonna fry it. So, give me a little bit and I'll be back. We're gonna let this marinate and I'll be back in a little bit, okay? I'll see you then. Stay with me. Okay, so it's been about half an hour that I've had my chicken soaking in the milk mixture. Now, we're gonna get it coated in flour and get it ready to fry. When I fry chicken, I coat it in my flour, then I set it in a pan, and I let it sit for just a few minutes. And when you see that flour starting to look wet, then it's ready to fry because that's gonna give you a good crust, okay? So, no other better way to use it than with the tools God gave us, and that's with my hands. They're clean, I promise, I washed them. You don't get to see me do that. So, I cut my breast in half. They were so big that I cut them in half. That was just too big to have one as one piece. So I'm gonna get a good coat on it, mash it in there, press it in, do whatever you have to do, just get a good coat of flour on it. See how I've got it coated? You see that? Now I'm gonna sit it here in this pan. I got 2 pans out in case I need it. And after I fry it, you'll see I'm going to put it on a pan with a rack in it so it doesn't just sit in its own grease. That'll allow the oil, the excess oil to drip from it, and it'll let, I put it in the oven, it'll let the heat very, very, as low as your oven will go, heat. Keep it warm until we're ready for supper. So, I wanted to come on and fry this with y'all, and so you can see how I fry my chicken. I love fried chicken. Who doesn't? I mean, really, you're in the South, you've got to love fried chicken, right? Now, you don't have to, but I take the tip of my wings and fold it back behind there. You can cut it off if you want to. Sometimes I do that, and sometimes I just fold it back. See, you got a perfect little shaped wing. Put it in there. I think we're only going to need the 1 pan. So how are you guys today? We have had a wonderful day. I got off of work early. I had a dental appointment. So I come on home after the dentist. So that gives me a chance to get in this kitchen and do what I love, and that's cooking, especially with you guys. And I miss you when you're not on here. So the weather is beautiful. It is, so what my temperature says, 87 degrees today here in central Alabama. And that's warm. But you know what? It's going to get warmer for us too. And, but so tell me how the weather is where you are. Is it warm? Might have a niece that lives in Montana, and she's been getting snow. Last week she got snow, so to me that's kind of odd. Here I am in hot weather, and she's in cold weather. So we plan on going up to visit her as soon as we can. And maybe next year before we get up there, but we're going to get it as soon as we can. Now, I'm done with this flour. I'm not going to use it again because I had the raw chicken in it. So I'm going to throw it away, and I'm going to let you hold this pan of chicken up and let you see it. Get all that extra goopy off of my fingers. Now see, and I'm going to let that sit there. And like I said, once it starts looking wet, and then I'll get ready to fry it. So, and that'll just keep all those goodies on there, the little crispy pieces. I love crispy, crunchy fried chicken. My daughter-in-law loves my fried chicken. She'll say, Gramps, when are you going to make chicken for us? So I have to make it for her whenever I can. All right, so let me go wash my hands, and I'm going to let this chicken sit for a little bit. Probably about 10 minutes is all it's going to need, if that much. And then I'll be back, and we'll get to frying chicken, okay? We're ready to fry chicken. Now, see how I told you the chicken would start looking wet? Can you tell? And it is ready to fry. So I've got my oil heating up. I've got some butter in it. Why not put butter in it, right? I do it because I can, and I do it because it tastes good. So we're gonna get that going, get my oil. Let's see if it's hot enough. I don't know that it's hot enough yet. Just get a little pinch of something, and it's almost there. So let me get some on my hands with. So we're going to use a pigtail. If you don't have one of these, you need to get you one. It is great for cooking, frying. Like I did, I took it out of the package and put it in my milk. I didn't have to touch it on the grill. It's wonderful. Okay, so let's get this. It's almost there. It's starting. Could be a little hotter. We'll give it another minute. And do you like fried chicken, or do you eat yours baked in the air fryer? I don't know what was with me in the air fryer. I just couldn't get it. And I know a lot of people use them and they're wonderful, but I just couldn't get the hang of it. I guess I'm just old-fashioned, and I like cooking my food on top of the stove or in the oven. Just the old-fashioned way. All right, now it's going. So let's get the rest of it in here. I'm not deep frying, but if you can see down in here, I have got a good bit of oil. It comes up about halfway, 3/4 of the way of the chicken. So we're going to fry it that way. Now I know a lot of people will tell you don't, well, and I'm bragging on my pigtail, and I couldn't get that one up. A lot of people will tell you do not crowd your pan, and that is true. However, I am going to cook it this way. I'm going to get it started, and then I will put a lid on it and let it cook with the lid. Come on now. Cooperate with me. Put a lid on it, and that lid will help that steam through and get that chicken all nice and done in the center. Then we'll take it off, and it will start browning really good. Just bury them on down in there. Can you see in that pan? Let me see if I can get you guys down here where you can see it. You see it there? Now that temperature will pick on up, and it'll get to frying, and when it does, we're going to turn it down a little bit, and we'll cover it up and let it cook. It doesn't take long to fry chicken, and it is so good. To me, there's nothing better than getting that chicken out of the pan and sitting down with a plate of mashed potatoes or green beans and get some gravy. Today though, I am making some green beans with them, and I'm going to make a little bit of cornbread dressing. I love dressing, my family loves it, so I'm going to make a little bit. There's just 2 of us eating today. We'll have chicken left over. We can't eat this all, but we'll have some left over, and you can heat it up the next day. You can take it off the bone, shred it up, make a chicken salad out of it. You can make a chicken pot pie with what's left over. There's just so many things you can do with it. So don't let it go to waste. Use it. So let me get this going good. I'm going to get my lid on it here in just a minute, and I'll see you back here in just a few minutes, okay? Don't go away. Let's check our chicken, because I think it's time to turn it over. Oh yeah, oh, wish you could smell it. Ah, look at here. Look how pretty that is. We're going to get all of this turned over. Oh, don't tear it off, Karen. Look at that. Can you see how pretty that is? How golden brown. And we're going to get it in here. I'm going to get it all turned over. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to cover it up. Let it cook a few minutes. And then I'm going to come back. Take off the lid. And let it cook without the lid. And what that's going to do is not only brown it a little more, but it'll also crispen up all these little goodies we have in here, okay? So, you hear it slow down? Let's crank it back up a little bit. I turned it down. I came in and turned it down because it was cooking a little faster than I wanted it to. But it's only been cooking on this side probably 10 minutes or so. So we're going to turn it over. I got it turned over, cover it up, and we're going to let it cook some more and then uncover it and let it finish cooking. So I'll be back with you when we ready to take the lid off and check it again. Okay? All right, see you in a little bit. All right, I've taken the lid off the chicken. So we're letting it brown up now, or crisp up. It's brown, but we're letting it crisp up. And I have got our dressing made. Pan's a little warm, so I'm going to slip it in the oven, and I'm going to let it bake at 375 for about 30 to 45 minutes. I'll check it after 30 minutes and see if it's ready to come out. You want it kind of firm, but you don't want it like solid pack hard. You still want some moist in there, so it'll be really good and fluffy and delicious, and we're going to make some gravy to go with it. But the star of the show tonight for me is this fried chicken. So, let's look at this. Can you see that? Can you see that piece of chicken? Look how good. Looky there. You see how brown? We're going to leave him in there another minute. And actually, I think we're going to turn him on his little side. Let's get, oh, touch that pan. Let his little side get some color on it. We'll do the same thing there. And we'll turn this one over. Now, keep in mind, if your chicken doesn't release from the pan, he doesn't want to let go, he's not ready to turn. So give him another minute, and then he'll let go, and you can flip him over. He'll let you know when he's ready. He will let you know. And I think these need another minute. Oh, it's looking so good. It sounds, I might turn it up just a tad. All right, they need just another minute of cooking. So we're going to let those go, and we're going to come back in just a minute, and we'll get these out of the frying pan. And I'm gonna put them on my pan here with a rack. And when my dressing comes out of the oven, I'm gonna slip that in, turn the temperature all the way down, or just turn it off because the oven's hot, and it'll keep that chicken warm until dinner time, okay? I will see you in a little bit. All right, see you. Let's look at our chicken. I think it's ready to come up. Oh, looky there. I'm gonna hold this pan up. Whoops, so you can see it. Oh my goodness. And see, this pan with the wire rack will let that oil drain and keep the chicken crispy. We'll let that one sit on that side while we're taking these up. And let that oil drain and keep the chicken crispy so it's not sitting in its own oils and getting soggy. So, my goodness, if you could smell this chicken cooking, oh my goodness, I wish you could come eat with me. We would have a good time. We'd have this chicken, you know, this is something that would be good. I'm going to put it in the oven and keep it warm, but this would be good to cook up and take on a picnic. If you're going on a trip, throw it in a container with a lid, and when you stop, you can have you some fried chicken. And for lunch, and you don't have to go out. I've got to stir my gravy while I'm talking to you. And, or if you're out a day on the lake, like we'll take the boat out and go on the lake. So instead of trying to find a marina that's got a restaurant, you can pull out that container, fried chicken, stick it down in the ice chest, and you don't have to have anything fancy with it. Get you some white bread, and that's all you need. Or if you want to make a little potato salad, I wouldn't suggest making potato salad with mayonnaise like that, but you could have it just chicken, and it's so good. It's so easy. Now, let me hold this up here so you can see. He's not pretty on that side. Let's turn him over. Looky here. Look at this pan of chicken, y'all. And it's going to be so good for supper tonight. And I think I'm going to have a happy husband when he gets home. And I feed him. So I'm going to let this oil sit here and cool off. I'm going to push it to the back. And we'll let that cool off, and then I'll discard it because it had a fried chicken in it. I won't use it again. So, but I'm going to finish my gravy up. I've got my dressing in the oven cooking. I've got some green beans in the pot back here. And I'm so glad you joined me today. And please, I hope you like and subscribe to my channel and share it. I would certainly appreciate it. I've had a lot of kind words, and it makes me feel good to know that my videos are getting out there for people to see. This is something I enjoy doing, and I'm glad I could get home early today where I could cook a big meal like this. And so we'll have a nice supper tonight. But everybody have a good evening. Join me again soon, and thanks for watching me. Bye.